After that, this next story I am really excited about. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, to me at least personally, is the biggest story of the week. It doesn't have as many details as some of these other stories we're going to talk about, but just the fact that this is finally fucking happening, I'm really excited about, and I'm going to jump right into it. We're talking about District 10, which is the sequel to District 9. I loved District 9, and not only because it was kind of a byproduct of the failed Halo movie. It has a lot of stuff in it that was brought over from that movie. Well, the production side of that movie that failed, that Neil Blomkamp was supposed to be making, and he went on to do this. It's actually based on a short story. The District 9 was based on a short movie he did years earlier, but he took all that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff for those eagle-eyed Halo fans in District 9 that you would recognize, and that would be because it all came from the Halo movie production that Peter Jackson was behind and eventually broke apart. But anyway, according to the Post, District 10, Neil Blomkamp's long-planned sequel to District 9, is taking a big leap forward in development, as the filmmaker confirmed on Twitter that he is now working on the script with screenwriter Terry Tatchell and actor Sharlto Copley. Blomkamp added a single promise to fans. It's coming. I'll take it, man, because he's been telling us, I want to do it. There's a story there that I want to tell one day, but he hasn't just outright said, okay, we're doing it. And Blomkamp is one of those directors that works fast. Like he has some really technically, from a technical perspective, especially interesting and just like some really high-tech movies that he makes, some great-looking movies, regardless of what you think of their quality, like Elysium and Chappie. But he makes them quickly. He's a guerrilla filmmaker, like down-in-the-dirt guerrilla filmmaker, so I'm hoping that that's what he does with this one, too. Blomkamp has long discussed wanting to create a sequel to District 9, but he spent the immediate aftermath of the film's success developing new projects such as Elysium and Chappie. Addressing fans during a 2017 Reddit AMA, the filmmaker said he was committed to making a District 9 sequel, but was waiting for the right time to start working on it. I really respect that, because everybody was clamoring for a sequel after this came out, because it kind of did leave off on somewhat of a cliffhanger. Not a total cliffhanger, but it definitely left it wide open, and it definitely left open the fact that, yes, there is more to be told. And everybody was wanting it. This movie was on, this was a great breakout for him, because it won an Academy Award, I think, for screenplay or adapted screenplay. It was nominated for a whole bunch of awards. Everybody loved it, talked great things about it. He could have jumped right into that and it would have done gangbusters, but I really respect the fact that he said, it's not the right time for it. I'm not ready. I don't have that story. He's not doing it just to do it, just because everybody's hollering for it. So I really respect when filmmakers do that. They don't follow the money. I mean, money's important. It's a business, I understand, but as far as making films, I think it is a creative process. You got to have some passion about it. And he waited until things were right. In Blomkamp's word, he said, okay, so with District 10, the basic answer is yes, he replied to fans. I want to go back to that world and tell the rest of the story with Wickes and Christopher. Those are the two characters, the alien and Copley's character in the first movie. The issue right now is that I have many other projects and ideas that I also want to work on and complete. And most importantly, the exact right reason to make District 10 needs to be very clear. The first film was based so explicitly on real themes and topics from South Africa that affected me greatly growing up there, that we need to make sure the next film does not forget that. That's great. That's great. That is someone saying, I'm going to make this movie when it's the right time to make it, and I'm going to make it, and I want it to mean something like the first one did. I'm cool with that. Take your time, dude. I mean, you have, but make it. Make it when you're ready. So he doesn't, as far as I know, because he had a few projects fall through. Not due to him, but he was supposed to make a new Alien film that was going to kind of do a Halloween and retcon some of the later Alien movies. It was going to take place right after Aliens, and it was going to have Sigourney Ripley and Hicks and Newt and all of them. He was writing this. There's storyboards, like concept art. He was working on that, and it fell through. That really sucks because I was really liking his vision of that. There was one or two other things he had fall through. This guy's had really bad luck with like awesome projects falling through his career. He was the one, like I mentioned earlier, who was in charge of the Halo movie. Supposed to be his breakout, but instead he made District 9. But yeah, man, we don't have like it doesn't tell us anything about it. We assume, and the end of the first one, I think it was Christopher, the alien. That was the alien's name. Him and his child took off in the ship and went, and I think he said it'd take like 3 years to get there or to get there and back. They were going to, I think, their home planet or going somewhere. I can't remember. They're coming back. So I'm wondering if this one will just pick up a few years after where they come back. What does that mean for Wickus's character, which is Copley's character, who has turned into one of these creatures now? Are we going to get an explanation as to why? I mean, I know he got that stuff on him in the beginning of the movie. What made him like turn into this other species? How's that work? I don't know. I'm interested. I've always liked Neil Blomkamp's movies, even Elysium and Chappie. I saw the issues with both of them. I thought Chappie was honestly a better movie than Elysium. Elysium was a cool idea. It had some really cool action, but it was a little bit light in the story department. It was pretty basic. Chappie, I thought, had a lot more going on with it, and it's the one that most people dislike the most. I think a lot of that had to do with them picking Die Antwoord to be the main characters in the movie and pretty much just playing themselves. I don't mind them, so it didn't bother me. I thought that was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. I liked what it was talking about. And most of his movies do have kind of an undertone of political, like, commentary. Not political, but societal commentary. Not so much political. And so, yeah, I'm interested to see what he's going to do with District 10, how it's going to expand that District 9 story. Hopefully, I have faith that he's not going to screw it up. I mean, you never know, but I have faith he's not. As long as he doesn't go, like, super political like it seems like everybody out there's doing now, I think he'll be all right. Don't do that, and I'll probably be pleased enough to watch this movie and enjoy it. But, yeah, District 10, if you're a fan of District 9, it doesn't give us a time, but he is working on the screenplay. Like I mentioned, he is the type of director who typically works pretty fast. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this thing in a year and a half, maybe. Maybe shorter amount of time, depending on how fast he's wanting to work on it. Or hell, it might be 10 years. Who knows? But he is actually actively working on it now, and that makes me excited. Thanks for checking out this clip from the JarCast Movie Podcast. If you like this and want more, then check out the JarCast live stream every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Central Time on the Jacob Anders Review YouTube channel, where you can also find movie reviews every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. You can also listen to the entire podcast on all major podcasting platforms such as Spotify, Google, and iTunes. So if you prefer audio, whichever one is your preferred, check it out there. Once again, I really appreciate it, and thanks for watching. And as always, stay sexy, YouTube.